Hello, everybody. My name is Ray. Welcome to the Evangelical Dark Web. Today, we will be talking about the seminary presidents of the Southern Baptist Convention reaffirming the Baptist faith in Message 2000, while also declaring critical race theory incompatible. Are they being honest or are they lying to us? We're going to discuss that today. Let's just read the salient statements in this generic statement that the seminary presidents released. We are thankful for the theological commitments of the Southern Baptist Convention, standing against the tide of theological compromise and in the face of an increasingly hostile secular culture. In light of current conversations in the Southern Baptist Convention, we stand together on historic Southern Baptist condemnations of racism in any form, and we also declare that affirmation of critical race theory, intersectionality, and any version of critical theory is incompatible with the Baptist faith and message. This would seem as though a contradiction to Resolution 9, which in 2019 was promoted by the Southern Baptist Convention to allow the use of critical race theory as an analytical tool. This seems like it goes against Resolution 9, but in reality, these seminary presidents are saying one thing and doing another. And how they get away with this is, first of all, they're not defining critical race theory. They're not defining intersectionality. They're not defining critical theory. So, in essence, what they're doing is they're treating critical theory, also known as cultural Marxism, as an abstract idea not actually being taught in their seminaries and in churches. So that's how they're able to say this, is because they want you to think that this is not a real issue being taught at the street level. It's just an ideological issue being debated in secular academia, which is furthest from the truth as we can get. And so a number of these seminary presidents insist that their professors are being faithful and they are not teaching critical race theory, and that's a lie. So we got Danny Aiken here saying, every faculty member of Southeastern Seminary is fully committed to teaching biblical truth in service to King Jesus and to standing steadfast in an increasingly secular culture. I don't know what Walter Strickland has to say about that, but that's the thing. Danny Aiken, I think is also kind of woke. He's certainly embraced some aspects of a revisionist history. So I think Jason Allen actually has the most steadfast statement here that actually comes closest to addressing critical race theory. And he equates it to racism. And I have no problem with equating woke people with racist people. I mean, we should fight both of them. The line about fighting for racial reconciliation and the truth of Scripture, that definitely could use some more fleshing out as to what he means by that. Because again, if you don't actually define critical race theory, you're fighting for racial reconciliation. Your fight for racial reconciliation could include things like reparations, a Zacchaeus fund, as some woke people have taken to calling it. So bookmark this statement by Jamie Dew of New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary. Critical race theory is not endorsed by any of our faculty members or administrators. So New Orleans is actually one of the seminaries I've heard the least about in terms of where they stand on this issue, where their professors stand on this issue. I just don't hear much about them. Same with Gateway, to be honest, also. So, bookmark that. If, this is wrong, he's setting himself up in the future to be exposed as a hypocrite. So watch out. Adam Greenway, who is brought in, basically pushed on Southwestern by Al Mohler here after the whole Paige Patterson thing. And Adam Greenway has slandered theologically conservative brethren, most notably Bobby Lopez, who was fired for sharing his testimony about, being he was formerly a homosexual and then became saved. And I guess sharing your testimony and how you became a Christian is a fireable offense under Adam Greenway's regime out Southwestern. So he says this: in these days of rampant confusion about biblical truth, Great Commission Baptists can take confidence that their seminaries are offering clarity and conviction when it comes to racism and other world views antithetical to the Bible and only the gospel that can save, such as critical race theory and intersectionality. I enthusiastically endorse this statement, which reflects Southwestern Seminary's confessional commitment and our unfaltering cooperation with Southern Baptist Convention of Churches. So, Adam Greenway once again planting his flag saying, we are committed to not teaching critical race theory. So again, these people are really just staking their flag in the ground, then they can be exposed for lying. Okay, this is a pretty milquetoast statement from Jeff Jorg. So let's look at Al Mohler here. Al Mohler, Southern Baptist Theological Seminary. He has been tenured the longest out of all of these seminary presidents, I believe 1994. And he's also the most powerful man in the Southern Baptist Convention. Even more powerful, I would say, than J.D. Greear, its third-term president. In this statement, the 6 seminary presidents stand together to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the Baptist faith and message, to thank God for this great statement of biblical truth that unifies Southern Baptists as a denomination of unquestioned theological conviction. This anniversary offers an opportunity 2 decades after this action to celebrate and to rededicate ourselves and our schools to this commitment. The issues of critical race theory and intersectionality have arisen within the last 2 years as issues of controversy in the larger world, and this controversy has reached into the Southern Baptist Convention. We stand together in stating that we do not believe that advocating critical race theory or intersectionality is compatible with the Baptist faith and message, and that such advocacy has no rightful place within an SBC seminary. I think it speaks loudly to Southern Baptists that we can take this stand together. Wow. So bold words from Al Mohler, because we would not have Resolution 9 without Al Mohler here. Al Mohler gave us, he elevated Curtis Woods. And Curtis Woods was on the resolutions committee that edited Resolution 9 to be pro-critical race theory. Al Mohler also has Jarvis Williams on staff, who is a critical race theory, very open about it. More open, probably the most blatant example of a critical race theorist as a professor in a Southern Baptist seminary. So Al Mohler's lying here, and if he wants me to believe him, he needs to fire some people. Matthew Hall was on a viral video teaching critical race theory. That's his number 2. That's the Dwight Schrute to his Michael Scott. Is a woke professor. So Al Mohler is lying here, and the people underneath him advocate critical race theory, and he says they have no rightful place in an SBC seminary. Fire them. But he won't do that. In fact, quite the opposite. He fired Russell Fuller and a couple other seminary professors who were not woke and wouldn't go along with the woke game. If anything, Al Mohler is woke. He's not on the side of truth here. He's not against critical race theory or intersectionality. Al Mohler's lying here. And the thing about Southern Baptists is, we rely, or I used to be a Southern Baptist, I'm not really anymore, but they relied way too much on statements. Statements like the Baptist faith and message. Do you know how many Southern Baptist churches have female pastors? A lot more than you would think, even though that's a direct contradiction to the Baptist faith and message, which codifies complementarianism. So these types of statements mean nothing if your actions do not back them up. And Al Mohler's actions do not back him up. Danny Akin's actions do not back him up. Adam Greenway's actions do not back him up. I think Jamie Dew, you are setting yourself up to be exposed. Jeff Eorg, you are also setting yourself up to be exposed. And I think this statement here exposes a lot of hypocrisy within the Southern Baptist Convention, especially Al Mohler. So that's all I got to say about this. My name is Ray. This is the Evangelical Dark Web. If you like this content, we are all about trying to expose critical race theory and fight it. It is part of the heretical social justice gospel, which is one of the things that I'm really setting out to fight. And, you can support that by subscribing to this channel and liking these videos as well. Comment below what you think about what I said, and I will catch you on the next one.